immediately began walking and then running away. Hi, I'm Amy Goodman from Democracy.
Sorry,
can you tell? Oh no, we came to your report.
I'm sorry, I've got to go to another meeting.
Can you tell us what you think about President Trump saying climate change is a hoax?
Excuse me.
You can answer the question. Are you not speaking to the press here?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm running late for a meeting, thanks.
Right, but you weren't running late when you're just standing there. So just answer the question, what is the U.S. doing here since President Trump said he's pulling out of the Paris Agreement? Can you talk about President Trump's saying that climate change is a Chinese hoax? Are you not talking to the press while you're here?
Maybe we can set something up later with our press.
Who would I talk to? Can I ask if you agree with President Trump calling climate change a hoax? You're definitely giving me a run for my money here. Can you talk about why the U.S. is here since President Trump is saying he's pulling the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord? Can you talk about why you are pushing coal? No answer on any issue? Can you talk about why the U.S. would not welcome the UN report saying that catastrophic climate change is imminent and the world has to wean itself off of coal by 2050?
I'll connect you with our press folks if you want to give me a card, and I'll have them reach out.
We could have spoken this whole time. I don't hold out much hope for you to grant an interview. But if you could answer the question about whether you agree with President Trump calling climate change a hoax. Can you explain why the U.S. is even at the climate summit, given that he's pulling out?
I will reach out. Excuse me. I'll reach out.
Can you explain why the U.S. joined with Saudi Arabia in watering down language around the UN report? Wells Griffith begins to climb a set of stairs, then suddenly reverses course, comes back down, and darts past the various country pavilion exhibits. Wells Griffith, can you talk about why the U.S. is pushing coal at this UN climate summit? Can you talk about the U.S. role here at the UN climate summit? Why the U.S. is present at all? Can you explain why you won't comment on any issue yet you're here?
If you give me a card, I can do it, but you're really bad. What's that? If you give me a card, I can have our...
If you just answer a few questions.
I won't wait for... If you give me a card, I can have our folks reach out and maybe we can do some questions, but you're actually harassing me. But
can you explain why you won't answer any questions on the issue of climate change or why the U.S. is here?
If you would like to set up an interview, we can do that. I just would need your contact information.
A reporter asking you a question, sir, is not harassment.
That's not what's happened.
Why not answer a few simple questions?
Maybe set something up if you would give me your contact information.
So you're saying you will do an interview?
I'm saying I'll get with our press folks and we'll...
Well, why don't you give me your card? Why don't you give me your card and we'll set something up?
I asked for yours. I'd be happy to get you in touch with our press folks, but you're following me around.
Yeah. All right. I just want to get a few answers. It would take a few minutes.
Wells Griffith further accelerates, sprinting up another set of stairs, taking 2 steps at a time.
Mr. Griffith, can you just explain why the U.S. joined with Saudi Arabia to not welcome, to demand that the word welcome come out of... Oh, thank you, okay. I thought you wanted to get me contact information. Well, we're standing in front of the United States of America delegation office. We followed Wells Griffith, who is a representative of the Trump administration, formerly a top aide to Reince Priebus, to ask him about the U.S. side program yesterday, where they pushed coal and fossil fuels at the UN Climate Summit. And I went up to him and asked him what he thinks of President Trump saying climate change is a hoax. I asked about why the United States is here at the UN Climate Summit, given that President Trump... Wait, I have to take my breath. Hi.
Email us this.
Can you say who you are?
Here. Email at
I'll take it. Let me take the card.
ClimateCom.
You're not going to give me the card? He said someone would give me a card. Sir, you're not going to give me a card? So a representative of the U.S. government just was about to hand me a card and then decided against handing me a card. Well, Wells Griffith said they would allow us to get a contact, so we'll just wait here and see what's happening. A formal request for Trump advisor Wells Griffith to do an interview. His office just responded, "Sorry, but due to time constraints, Mr. Griffith is not available for this interview," unquote. One question many climate activists have is about Wells Griffith's qualifications to advise President Trump on climate and energy issues. In March, the publication E&E reported, quote, "Griffith's time at his dad's gas station is about all the energy experience he had until this past year when he landed a top political job at the Energy Department after working on the Trump campaign," unquote. In 2013, Griffith filmed a campaign ad at his father's Shell station in Mobile, Alabama, in his failed attempt to run for Congress.
My parents taught me to look to the Bible, the Constitution, for wisdom and guidance in life. But this document, Obamacare, this is why I'm running for Congress, because we won't get back to creating jobs until these thousands of pages of economic destruction are relegated to the trash pile of history.
Wells Griffith did not win his campaign for Congress, but he has become a top energy advisor to President Trump. When we come back, we'll talk about what the United States is doing behind the scenes here with a top climate activist. Stay with us.